Hi, I'm Dr. Dharm Sidhu, a naturopathic doctor here in Vancouver, and this is part 3 of Healing the Hurt Child, which is the work I'm experimenting with based on the ideas I got from Mary and Jesus at divinetruth.com. My goal is to end my addictions, to get rid of addictions, emotional addictions, physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. They cause a lot of pain and harm to everybody, to the environment, to myself, and affects my relationship with God, which, as you start to go through the awakening to pain phase, you start to realize that the only way to cope and the only way to be satisfied is to have a relationship with God. That's what that's the decision I'm making. And also, I'm very blocked to emotions. And I understand why. The childhood traumas were such that I can see why I shut down emotions. I shut down memories. I was completely numb. And the only way I can get any of this journey happening is through God. That was my choice. So my intention is always, what I wish is to be able to find those parts to me, the child parts that are stuck in the memory, in the terror, in the rage and heartbreaks, and to be able to show to the child that God was there, to experience that. That's something I decided for me that will give me closure. That will give me the peace I seek. And you just need one or two goals. You just need one or two desires. I want to end my addictions. I want to love the child I find, no matter what I've done in those injuries. I want to love the child. And I want the child to experience God was there in my experiences. That's it. Just 3 goals. And through it, all the experiences I need, all the skills I need to develop, the opening I need to God and to guides, all of those are happening along the way because our spirit guides are very involved with us, very involved. And they're always queuing in the next thing that I could be learning and developing. And everyone can develop the sensitivity to feel and receive those help. So as I'm connecting to the child's self who's stuck in anger, who's the addict, what I'm telling the child is nothing is wrong with the emotion. It just needs to be felt and owned. And that's a very powerful message to give to a child because you could still be stuck in the desire for, like, you want to make somebody pay, you get someone to hurt for what happened to you. And you can say to your hurt self, nothing's wrong with the emotion. It just needs to be owned, which is a concept, projecting emotion, denying emotion, owning emotion. So it doesn't matter what emotion you have, you are the safest when you're owning an emotion. You are very, very safe, and it's being safely removed from you. And of course, if it's like anger, you do want to express the anger in a way that looks destructive. Sometimes you want to break something, sometimes you want to scream, and all of that. And all of that can be done safely. And then as you go through that, then the child will surrender, and you find the child that is in the suffering. Because there's always the defensiveness that comes up and try to like protect. That is the addict, that is the angry face. And once that is loved and owned and cared for, then you find a child that has been just broken, obliterated, just barely hanging in there, very, very broken. And it's very heartbreaking. Usually the adult me has to go through some grief about, like, who does this to a child? Uh, like just a lot of difficult experiences to go through. And by this point, you already worked through justice and people should pay for what they did, and you work through all of those blogs. And I've come to a place where I go, justice is not my department. I really, in my soul, really don't care about that part. Others could be interested in that and want to learn from God how that is done. how correction is done. My passion is, I'm a doctor. My passion is someone is very, very ill and she needs care. And that is where I'm at right now. I'm not yet able to fully surrender to the grief that the child is in, but I'm able to, at this point, just hold a child, and I can have the grief about what's going on and how damaged the child is. And they're all different ages, all very, very different ages in what's going on. So even if you're still blocked, say you're not able to surrender to grief yet, it's okay. It's about finding that part to you and being very present, being very aware, kind of like attending to the child. And you start to assess, what do I need? What skills do I need? What environment do I need? Who do I need to bring in? How do I become open to God and to guides so that they can come in and care for the child? And healing is basically you releasing all emotions about what's happened to the child, which is what I learned is basically forgiveness. That's the goal. You're releasing all the emotion that is trapped in you about the events. And then in it, you're working through the false belief. So, for example, I have a false belief that people shouldn't hurt me. And so now I seek power to kind of have a say about it. Well, people are allowed to hurt me, but I'm able to release the pain. And that's a false belief that I'm now releasing, and I'm learning how to soften to releasing the pain and therefore be free. And I have so much love now for all my little ones, all my little hurt child selves. I want them to be free of the pain and be just go be, go be. I'm tired of holding on to justice and revenge, and I'm tired. I just want little me to heal. And I'm beginning to notice that in many ways, there are parts to me that are integrating. Like, you don't have to work on integration. You don't have to. I just need to allow the hurt child to release the emotion. That's all. And then as that's happening, I'm finding that there's more fullness to myself, more wholeness. There are more skills and talents and gifts that are coming back that are like there's more abilities, more skills awakening in me. There's more pleasure in all the little things that I could not experience in the past. There are a lot of gifts happening through the journey, and I'm not even fully done any part of it yet. I'm just going through it step by step. So the goal of this conversation is to help you, encourage you to develop the capacity to be present to those little kids in us that are the addicts, how to treat yourself. And that, how you treat yourself, no matter what you've done, that to me is like the make or break of the journey of awakening to our kind of like our sinful addictions. The way you treat yourself is the most important thing you can do. And we're dealing with very broken, hurt, scared, angry little kids. So you treat them like children, you treat them with care, you will start to change as you become that. And you will also start to become, I would say, love protects. There are parts to me that when people, they may think they're not being hurtful, but I can feel them projecting anger at the hurt child. My love nature will just rise up and not attack, but just go, you're not allowed in here. Like I can feel how that part of me will just rise up and protect the brave little girl inside here that's beginning to wake up to see what I'm doing so that I can heal. So it's a very empowering journey, and it means a lot to me. And I'll just continue sharing more ideas. And if you have questions, maybe the questions will trigger more conversations. But anyway, thank you for watching.